In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know about international student loans. So there's a lot to cover here, but at the highest level, there's really going to be two categories of international student loans. Those that require a cosigner based in the US, or those that don't. So let's first talk about that first group. So those that require domestic cosigner. So those are usually going to be ideal, and a cosigner is someone who's a U.S. citizen who basically is guaranteeing your loan. So they are taking legal responsibility that if you for some reason can't pay your loan back, they're on the hook for it. So it can be tough to find someone to do that, but there are a lot of benefits. So you usually get a much lower rate if you have that. There's also a lot of different lenders out there that are willing to lend to you. But because a lot of international students, that's probably not an option, we'll focus a little more on ones that do not require a U.S. cosigner. So there are really only two main options: Prodigy Finance and Empower Financing. Both of those are kind of similar companies. You can apply to both, but we'll talk about a little bit now about what you need to consider before you take out a loan with either one. The first is the interest rate. So that's simply the percentage, right, that determines how much you have to pay back. And that can either be fixed or variable. So a fixed rate is just simply like a flat percentage that you know exactly how much you'll be paying. Variable is usually based on some sort of index. So you have like the LIBOR or the prime rate, and they add a percentage on top of that. And so if that base rate changes a little bit, your rate can go up or down. So you can consider both options, and it really just depends on what's going on with interest rates and everything to see which is the better option. But given rates are so low right now, I usually think the fixed might be the good one. So we also want to think about repayment terms. So different lenders offer different things in terms of, what's the repayment schedule, when do you have to start paying back. A lot of them offer a few month grace period, so you don't have to start paying back right away, but some you have to start paying literally while you're still in school. So you want to make sure you understand those terms. You also want to consider the max amount, especially as an international student. If you don't have a cosigner, sometimes they'll cap the loan at $25,000 or $50,000. And if you're considering something like an MBA or full tuition, you might need more like $100,000. And so you want to see the amount that you're getting. Finally, you want to consider fees. Sometimes they'll add in, processing fee. They don't have application fees, but just little things like that. And then finally, any additional benefits or discounts as well. For example, some offer discounts if you enroll in like auto payments from your checking account, as well as any other, borrower benefits, things like that. So those are the basic things you want to consider before you apply. But like I said, there's those two options there. If you can get this U.S. cosigner, that's excellent. You're going to get a lower rate, have a lot more options, but there's still a couple options for you that you can apply to, and we'll have resources and links to those as well. Final thing to consider is there are some scholarships for international students, which of course should be your first option. So if you go to studentfi.org, that's studentfi.org/international, we have a few resources there for scholarships, a few loan options, and a lot more information as well. So that's Jackson with StudentFi. I hope it helped, and drop us a comment, reach out to us on our site if you need anything.